Okay, so I'm gonna set up a room online
Okay.
that you can join up, and I'll send you the information for it over Discord.
Yep.
Um, are there any questions you wanted to ask me right off the bat?
Uh. So why do you like Olimar? I'm just, I'm just curious.
It's a long, long story. I started competing back in April of 2013 with Super Smash Bros. Brawl on the Wii. And I actually really disliked Olimar before I picked him up. I really liked Toon Link because I'm a big Zelda fan. And it was like January of that year, and I stumbled upon a video of a Japanese Olimar player named Niatono in a really big tournament, and I saw him, kicking ass and looking really cool. And I was like, oh, well, I can do that. And my friends were beating me up at the time, and I was looking for a new character. And then after I saw him do it, I was like, well, I gotta try Olimar now. And then I tried him and just fell in love with him, and I've been playing him ever since.
Oh. Okay.
Let me get this created. So yeah, so obviously, like you were saying, you're really new. So there's a lot of, I guess, fundamental concepts that I'll try and teach you as well.
Okay.
And Olimar is one of those more complex characters. But that's fine. You can still use him on a more basic understanding with just a few ideal or fundamentals, I guess. So what I want to do first is just maybe play a game or two with you and get an idea of how good you are or what you're doing, and then I can try and pinpoint things from there.
I'm like the computer level 3. Alright, here we go.
Alright, I'm going to send you the room information
Okay.
over Twitter, and then you can just join it up. So that's the room information with the room ID and the password. And you can join it up. And I'm just gonna keep the stage as simple, stuff like Final Destination, Battlefield, nothing super fancy.
Got it.
But yeah, the character, he's you told me you watched the videos I made, the Astronaut Academy, like all the different Pikmin colors, they have different attributes. The biggest things to remember are blue are your best for using your up throw to take stocks. Purples are your hardest hitting ones with like everything else with your smash attacks or your aerials. Here, I'm actually going to switch off Olimar just because Olimar versus Olimar is not the most conducive to teaching.
I was trying to verse level 9 Olimars.
Oh yeah?
I don't know if you anything.
Okay. Yeah, they're a little weird. The computers play Olimar a little weird. But yeah, purples are your hardest hitting ones, and they also have knockback when you use them for side B, because like when you side B, the other colors, they latch onto the opponent and do damage. Reds hit a little bit less hard than the purple Pikmin, and they don't have the knockback on side B. Yellows have more range on their attacks, and then whites are really good for their side B because they do a lot of damage.
Okay.
All right, so let me see how you.
Oh god, I'm so scared.
No, it's fine. You got to get beat up a little before you can learn.
True. What?
Oh no. Okay.
Oh my god, I got one. Oh my god. I keep doing the thing where I like the other direction and I don't know.
Yeah, the biggest thing is you don't want to, and I know this is hard to do when you got someone, rushing you down. You don't want to panic.
Oh, that's okay, I'll try. Wait, how did I die there?
So you started your up B to recover, but then you used an aerial, and when you use like an attack in the air, it cancels your up B and puts you into free fall.
Okay.
But I've got a couple things I'll mention after the game that can hopefully help you.
Okay.
Oh, okay, I went a little too far. So, a couple big things with Olimar.
Okay.
When you grab somebody at lower percents, especially when they're not too high, you want to do your down throw, and then a lot of the times you can follow it up with a forward air. So you down throw and then run forward a little bit and do a forward air.
Okay.
You don't want to like think of each individual Pikmin as like a resource that you're using. So it's like you don't want to attack with all three of them. Like you don't want to side B, and throw them all, because then you're left defenseless. So it maybe throw two and then fight with the one you have, or throw one and then see how your opponent reacts to it. You like throw it and then you're like, oh, it latched onto him. Okay, maybe he's attacking it, or oh, he shielded it, so maybe I'll try and grab him. Because Smash at its core, really any fighting game is kind of like a rock paper scissors, where it's like shield beats attack, grab beats shield, attacking beats grab. So you kind of want to keep your opponent guessing, but generally try to keep a Pikmin on you a lot of the time. You have a good few resources that you can use to like not always need to use them. You have your non-Pikmin attacks with like your jab, just your neutral A press, your tilt. Do you know the distinction between tilts and smash attacks?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Is it okay to keep your smash attack on your C stick?
Yes, that's actually how I play. It's recommended for Olimar just because he uses smash attacks so frequently. Yeah, his down tilt is a really good attack to use, like if you don't have a Pikmin, or if you want to try and catch the opponent when they're jumping or acting really quick. It's pretty quick, and it can pop them up and set up for a combo where you can hit them with an up air or forward air. And something that you can do whenever you want to practice on your own, especially while you're really like learning how Olimar works, is instead of fighting the CPUs for a little bit, maybe go into the training mode and just hit the opponent with Olimar's moves. Like run up and use an up smash on him and see how he goes, and then see what you can combo with. Like up smash into up air is a really good combo for Olimar at low percent on almost every character. So you could go in there and play around with those types of things and get a better feel for Olimar, because you want to know where the opponent's going to go after you hit them, so you're not having to guess so much. And that'll help you get a lot more effective with your combos. But yeah, the biggest thing is just like, making sure each button you press is very deliberate and individual, so that you're not so much like accident. Yeah, like you can definitely press a lot of buttons if you know what you're doing, but it's just like making sure that you're not accidentally doing something at the wrong time.
Oh my gosh.
Turn it around. That was a good recovery though, going low. You with Olimar, his up B doesn't really have like a super good way to, like, you can't really hit the opponent a lot if you're off stage, so it's a lot of mixing it up and making sure you're not going to get punished. Something important to remember is that Olimar's grab goes more distance if you have more Pikmin. So if you have 3 Pikmin, it'll go farther than if you have 1 or 2. But at the same time, it also has more end lag. Yeah, if you were to grab with just 1 Pikmin, it would actually take less time for you to recover from doing it. So that's like something you got to watch out for when you only have 1 or 2. When you have like 1 Pikmin compared to 3, is paying attention and being like, okay, I can grab now. It's going to be less committal.
Oh my gosh, it's so hard to grab someone. Wait, oh.
So what happened there was you actually grabbed me at one point, but then I hit you right at the same time, so it broke the grab. And in this game, when you grab somebody, after they get out of the grab, they have to wait a whole second before they can be grabbed again. So, are you familiar with DI?
Yeah, okay, so that's the direction thingy?
Yeah, the
where you're
directional
supposed to
influence.
Go the opposite way of where they hit you or something?
Kinda, yeah. It's a little complex in this game, but the gist of it is, you want to hold like perpendicular to the direction you're going if you're going up. So let's say I, use Olimar's up there, the one that sends you straight up to kill. You would want to hold out. So like you would want to hold the same direction Olimar's facing. So if I grabbed you and I was facing to the right, you would want to hold right and slightly down. And that's going to hit like a perpendicular angle. And that's going to help you survive more because instead of going just straight up with a throw, it's going to curve that angle and help you survive because you're going to bend the distance that you're going.
Okay.
And then if you get hit horizontally, let's say I hit you with a forward smash and it sends you all the way to the right, you would want to input left. Ideally, it's like left and perpendicular, so like left and then up. But the biggest thing is left, because when it's going horizontal, when you're getting knocked back horizontally, inputting the opposite direction that you're going reduces the overall force that you take. So for vertical moves, you want to hold perpendicular to them. For horizontal moves, the biggest thing is holding opposite of them. And I'll include this in that document later on, so you can just like reference it back quickly, because there's a lot of like weird details.
Okay.
But something about Olimar specifically is when you're playing him, you want to manage your Pikmin really well, so you can get the most out of every hit, because each Pikmin specializes in something. How often would you say you are looking at your Pikmin lineup?
Like 40%.
That's fine.
I mean,
it's one of those things that's not very intuitive to playing a game. You don't when you play, you just look at your character. You don't really think to look at these little colored things behind them and always pick and choose your option based on that. But something that I recommend to all of our players when they're, because Pikmin management is a bit of an abstract concept. It's kind of one of those things that the more you do it, the better you get. But kind of think of it like snapshots, where we're having a fight and you're looking at me, you're looking at the game, and then you just glance over real quick at your Pikmin lineup and you're like, okay, I have a blue, white, purple, and then you kind of just take a quick mental snapshot of that, and so now you don't need to look at your line real quick. You already know that you have a blue, white, purple, so that you can fight with that from there on, and you kind of keep like a mental, keep track of it in your mind, because you know that. What's up?
Sorry, what's the difference between red and the yellow one?
So the reds, they have a boosted attack power on their smashes and aerials by about 40%, and they have slightly less knockback and damage on their throw attacks, so they can actually be better for comboing. And they also have immunity to fire. And then yellows, they don't have any extra damage at all, but they have their hitboxes on their smash attacks and aerials are actually bigger. So there's like, think every hitbox in this game is essentially like a circle or an oval that's invisible. So if you were to take like a regular circle and you made it 50% larger all around, that would be a yellow. So it's larger invisible hitboxes.
I see.
Yeah, so they're really good. Yellows are really good if you're fighting someone and they're keeping you out a lot, or you're having trouble getting in. Like, they can give you a little bit of extra range to help you get in on your opponent.
Wow, so much information.
Yeah,
wow.
There's a lot to it.
It's just like, even if I know what all the Pikmin do, when I'm trying to fight someone, I panic and I don't think about it.
No, it's fine. It's one of those things that you're going to have to fight that natural instinct to be like, okay, I need to panic and get out of here. Because he's a type of character that can really, like, get messed up if someone's right on top of you. Something else you can keep in mind as well is plucking a Pikmin is really fast. Like, you can pluck one and then act all within the 10th of a second. So when you lose all of your Pikmin, you don't actually need to run and pluck 3 at a time. Sometimes you can just run away a little bit, pluck one, maybe attack right with it, to get me off of you, and then once you've kind of regained your footing, go and get the other two.
I'm trying not to spam side B.
No, it's fine to use side B a lot. Like I'm the type of Olimar player who really likes to use side B. It's just making sure that you don't leave yourself defenseless with it, right? So that if you're using it a lot, maybe you're approaching with it, so you're kind of following up and staying with your Pikmin. Or, you know, you're whistling some of the Pikmin back that can, after you throw them, you know, so it kind of, you bait an option out of your opponent, but then you get your Pikmin back in time. Yeah, her neutral B is like a counter, so if you hit it, it blasts you out and does a ton of knockback and damage.
Oh my god. No, I killed my own people. Why would I do that? Oh my god.
You gotta, they're gonna go a lot, don't worry. There's plenty of them.
Oh my god. This is so scary because I don't have any.
It's, whenever you don't have any, don't be afraid to use your tilts or your jab. Because they don't require any Pikmin. That, yep. It's your second fastest move, right behind your jab, and it's a good way to get someone off.
My friend told me, like, okay, he said he remapped the C stick to the tilt.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier to use it.
For most characters, you would want to do that. But with Olimar, since you're going to be using forward smash, down smash, up smash a lot, you generally want it there faster. And the tilt that you're going to use most often with Olimar is down tilt. And that's one of those moves that's really easy to just kind of like use, because you just have to throw your stick down. Whereas something like up tilt, you might accidentally jump if you have tab jump on, or forward tilt, you might dash.
I see, okay.
So if you were to play a different character, there's definitely like times where, you know, having tilt on your C stick would be more beneficial. But he's not using his tilts enough on average.
Okay.
Do you change your controls in any other way?
No. Wait, I also disabled the up jump.
Okay. Okay, yeah, that's pretty standard.
Okay.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. I was just wondering if there was any specific things you were doing. But no, if you're using default, I use a Pro controller instead of a GameCube one. And mine are default controls, except that I just change one of my jump buttons to attack so I don't accidentally jump. And I actually leave up to jump on, tap jump, because I prefer it over a jump button. But the nice thing about controls is that it's all really preference, so if there's something you're comfortable with, like you could use tilt stick on your C stick if you wanted to. It's just, on average, the smash attacks are going to be more beneficial.
Is it preference to just use a GameCube controller or a Pro controller?
It's really preference. Back with Smash 4 and Brawl on the Wii and Wii U, I actually used Wii Remote and Nunchuck. Yeah, as my preference, but it's not supported on the Switch, so I switched to Pro Controller because I'm personally not a fan of GameCube controller, and my hands aren't the best, so it can be a bit more uncomfortable to use that. But almost all of my friends use GameCube controllers, so it's more than sufficient. So I'll play one more speech, and then I'll fight you with my Olimar, and I'll give you an idea of, you'll just kind of see how I just blow through my Pikmin really quick and like constantly switch it up and all that.
Okay.
But yeah, just remember, you know, when you run out of Pikmin, you don't always have to, you know, pluck 3 at a time, using your tilts and jabs, and don't be afraid to use those smash attacks.
When do you get the opportunity to use your smash attack?
It's a lot of preemptive getting the opponent, like, when they're coming in. Your aerials, like your forward air and things like that, they're kind of like swords, because the Pikmin, they're transcendent, which means they don't interact. They don't have like a hurt box that they can be hit. They only have like a hit box where they can hit the opponent. So they can stop opponents coming in and then let you kind of, you know, space your attacks with. I just killed myself saving you, but that's alright. Yeah, when you're off stage and you're falling, you know, throwing a couple Pikmin can help you. Sometimes you do need to throw 3, but not all the time. I just killed myself, that's Another thing you can do is just making sure to save your double jump. You know, maybe you get knocked off stage and you still have your double jump. You don't need to use it immediately. You can kind of drift in and then you can save it to help mix up how you're recovering.
Okay. A bomb?
She can, when Peach pulls her turnip, she can sometimes pull a bomb.
Oh. Man, this grab animation is so...
Yeah, you want to be careful with grabbing a lot, because Olimar does, it is super committal when you have the 3 Pikmin. Close. Close. Couple big things. And I'm gonna repeat a lot of things, obviously, because it's not expected to be. You know, you don't. I can't expect you to adapt in one game. Just watching out on the grabs. Do you know what a pivot grab is?
You run and then you pivot and grab.
Yeah. So with Olimar, it can be pretty committal, just like his regular one. But you have the benefit of the Pikmin kind of. I'll show you with my Olimar. It kind of changes, it gives you some extra distance because the Pikmin will go, but Olimar will slide back a little bit. So it can be a way to grab somebody who's approaching you. When, like, without having to run in and do your own or just stand there. So you can kind of put some additional distance between you and the opponent while also having your grab out.
I see. Pivot.
So I'll show you. So, like, this is a regular grab.
Wait, okay,
That's a pivot grab. So you kind of, you throw yourself back a little bit and you get a grab. Oh. And you can do that with 1, 2, or 3 Pikmin. The more Pikmin obviously have more range. And something to keep in mind with a white is white Pikmin have more grab range. So if you were to grab with... And it's always dependent on the Pikmin in front of the line. So if you grab with the white, they're going to have more range. If you grab with the blue in front of the line, it doesn't matter what the other 2 or other one in the lineup is. The first one is the one that dictates the... like what's happening with that grab. So if you do have a blue grab, like I said, you can take a stock with up throw. And something you can pay attention of is, let's say you grab, but you don't remember which Pikmin was in front of your line, right? If you look, the Pikmin closest to Olimar, kind of like in the front, is always the one you're grabbing with. So you see how there, it's like this one's gonna be a blue. It's gonna be the closest right in front of me.
Yeah.
So you can if you grab and you're unsure, you can just look at where your Pikmin are positioned. It's like that's a white. And then you can go from there and and then you can look at it real quick before you do your throw.
I see. Wow. Alright.
Alright, you ready?
No, but I'm ready to see this.
That's bound to happen a little bit online. So when you get knocked down, if you don't tech it, which I can explain that what a tech is if you'd like as well.
Shield?
Yeah, when you hit the shield button, when you hit a wall or hit the stage, and then it forces you to like roll and get up automatically. If you miss that, a lot of characters in this game have something called a jab lock, which it can be done with other moves that aren't necessarily the jab, but Olimar's jab is his best one for it. I hit you with my jab 1, and then it forces you into an animation where you're kind of stuck there for a second and it can let me get a smash attack for free.
Wow.
So when you're at the ledge, remember you don't always want to do a get up attack.
Yeah.
Sometimes you want to roll, sometimes you want to jump. There's a lot of different, like, the way I look at the ledge is, everyone is essentially the same there. You all have a roll, you all have a get up attack, you all have a regular get up, and it's all about mixing up those options as best you can. So if you got up attack the last time or, you know, something like that, then maybe you'll want to roll or do a regular get up because they provide different benefits. Olimar, as a character, tends to struggle in that disadvantaged state when he's off stage or when he's in the air. That's his biggest weakness as a character. So you might struggle there a bit more with Olimar than you would if you played a different character. But he's got some tools to make up for it. He can air dodge, which is an obvious one. His down B, the whistle that calls Pikmin back, it also provides super armor. It's a little strict to time. It comes out frame 2. I'm gonna try not to get into frame data because I'm assuming you don't know all the details about it because there's a lot to it. Which, if you want to know, I'm happy to explain. But pretty much what that means, the game runs at 60 frames a second, so it comes out frame 2. So it's about a 30th of a second, or sorry, yeah, it's about a 30th of a second. So it's super quick to come out. It's active towards the beginning of the move, and what the super armor does is it will never break on any amount of damage. So the only things that beat it are a grab, which you can't really do in the air for most characters, or something like a little Mac KO punch. So let's say you're in the air, you're off stage, and the opponent's about to hit you with something. If we're to use that down B move, you'll super armor through it, so you'll still take the damage and you'll get the percentage. You don't take any knockback.
Okay.
And that's something that, like, you can just, when you're in the air, you know, just work on doing everything. Let me like, oh, I'm about to be hit. Let me try down Bing. And it can provide a little bit of a benefit for you in that regard. It's not something that you want to spam, but when you're first learning it, it's definitely one of those things where you can just like go wild with it and see how it feels.
Oh my god, this game's so complicated.
Yeah, you picked the character with a lot to him.
I know.
But he's fun. He's fun.
Yes, he's super cute.
It's like right there, you went for a forward tilt and I pivot grabbed you because it let me do my grab while also retreating. So I didn't have to put myself in as much danger. Gotta watch out on the get attack.
Oh my god, the wish thing.
Alright, that was good.
What?
Olimar's purple side B is really good because when you throw it in the air, it has like a hitbox as it falls. So when you hit like a wall like that, it will actually ride the wall with a hitbox, and it can stage spike people who are riding that wall.
Oh my god, oh my god. There was like no breathing room.
Yeah, I'm a very aggressive Olimar in my own right, so I like to try and stay on top of my opponent. It's clear that you don't want to be up close and personal with me when we're fighting because, you know, I'm the more aggressive player, so I tend to be putting on a lot more pressure. But you don't want to focus too much on just running away, because if you do that, then you're just burning a lot of time and giving me time to catch up. And then that, like, you know, it can be fine to run away some, but maybe while you're running away, you mix it up and then you come and you forward air me or you forward smash as I'm running in. So you need to mix it up and keep it a bit more ambiguous. Remember, you don't always want to pluck 3.
Here, keep forgetting. Okay. Oh my god, I don't know how to approach you.
It's just experiment. There's not like one static way to do it. You know, sometimes you can throw one Pikmin and then, you know, come in after that with maybe a forward air or something.
Whoops, ow, this is...
Oh.
Wait, what? I thought I pressed up B.
You probably accidentally hit side B and just was like a little bit too diagonal there. Alright, I'm going to switch off Olimar onto a more standard character just to help you keep learning it. But, like, were you able to, like, when you were playing against my Olimar, I know you were spending a lot of time trying to not, like, get hit or anything like that. But were you able to see how, like, I would press a lot of buttons, I would throw a lot of Pikmin and things like that, but I would still kind of make it more fluid. I'd get my hits, and the way I approach my gameplay with Olimar, and if you wanna, you know, if you wanna press a lot of buttons, there's nothing wrong with that. It's just kind of like when you throw something, you want to know what's gonna happen after. It's a lot of general awareness of the game, and that's why earlier I said, you know, when instead of practicing with CPUs for a little bit, go into that training mode. Just use Olimar's moves. Just see what they do. See how when you hit someone, it combos. See where they go, and that's going to help you get a good idea of everything. So when you throw a Pikmin, you're going to know exactly where it's going to go, or have a general idea of like where it's going to go when you side B, and then you can go, oh, well, if it's going to cover, you know, this 45-degree angle in front of me, well, maybe I could cover, you know, down below on the ground, and that's going to be 2 areas that I can cover. So let me play someone nice and basic. We'll go Donkey Kong.
Donkey Kong.
Nice big body.
Wait, where did my... Oh my...
You threw them all.
Oh my god.
Gotta watch out for it. Sometimes it's better just to swing too if I'm right on top of you and I'm taking a long time. You know, if you're not already in that up B, sometimes you could just forward air on your own if you have a Pikmin. Just to, you know, kind of swat me away.
I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. There you go. his side B attack puts you in the ground like that. There's a few moves in the game that do that.
Oh my god!
Sorry, one of those things, practice makes perfect.
Okay.
And like I said early on when you first contacted me, since you are very new, it is one of those things where I'm gonna give you the general framework, but it is a lot of like you were doing earlier, just practicing the game on your own, playing against those CPUs, or maybe online on the quick play mode or in practice to just get a much better feel for the game, and then you can kind of go back and look at the notes I give you, the things I told you, and go, okay, yeah, now I'll take a snapshot of my Pikmin real quick and go, oh, I have a blue, white, purple, so I can try and do this attack, or this, setup or something like that. You gotta remember to throw. Oh no! You gotta remember to throw the Pikmin when you're off stage.
Yeah. Oh my god. I forgot to turn it off. Oh, you saved me.
Gotta remind you sometimes.
Oh my gosh.
So that backdoor, for instance, is a good move where it sends you at a weird, not directly horizontal angle, but kind of in. So you saw how you kind of went at like an upwards diagonal angle. So to DI that move, for example, your ideal DI would be the opposite upwards and diagonal. So it's like you're holding inwards by holding the opposite direction, but you're also holding in diagonal, which is perpendicular. So it'd be at like, instead of being at like a 60-degree angle to the left, which is the way you went, you would hold like a 60-degree angle to the right, but upwards as well. It's like right across the stick almost of where you went, if that makes sense.
Can you play Shulk?
Yeah, sure. Is that who one of the people you're trying to beat plays?
Yeah, just...
Yeah, I got you.
Thank you.
He is a character that is really annoying because he's got a lot of range, and his Monado arts are really dumb. They can make him super powered. But I will definitely do my best. Would you say there's anything specific about Shulk that's giving you trouble?
He's just way better than me.
Okay.
I don't even stand a chance right now. So.
Gotcha.
Okay, alright, okay.
Yeah, with Shulk, his side B does a ton of damage and knockback if you're back to him.
Oh my gosh.
Turned your back just at the last second. Oh no! Went too far!
Got one, boys!
Yeah, you gotta remember to watch the get up attacks.
I need Pikmin! There's no breathing room!
Decent. Yeah, I think the biggest issue for right now is just making sure that when, someone's like rushing you down, you gotta not panic. It's definitely tough, but I think it's just like, whenever you're, how do I put it? Whenever you're doing something new, it's like you kind of keep telling yourself these mental reminders like, yeah, don't forget to do this, don't forget this. And when you're in this game, it's no different. When you're getting rushed down and you're kind of struggling with it, you just want to be like, okay, it's okay to swing here, it's okay to fight back. Like, you don't want to just shut down, I guess.
Okay.
I know it's definitely easier said than done, but it's just like getting the idea, in your head, so to speak, so you're like, okay, it's just gonna creep in there sometimes when I'm attacking you. Gotta watch the get-up attacks. Sometimes better to roll. Do you know like the easiest way to identify all of Shulk's Monado arts? I guess.
You mean his little element?
Yeah, like when he glows.
I
can give you the rundown on him if not.
It's the speed smash.
Yeah.
Shield.
The best way to think about it this way is when he's blue, he runs really fast. When he's green, he jumps really high. When he's red, he does a lot of knockback. When he's purple, he doesn't do a lot of knockback, but he does a lot of damage. And then when he's yellow, he doesn't take a lot of knockback at all.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely, like, so whenever you see him flash blue, you know he's going to be running really fast at you, and he's probably going to use some, you know, he's going to stay closer to the ground, because that's, you know, he's running fast, he doesn't have a lot of jump height. When he's green, he's probably going to go off stage at you, and so be ready to either air dodge if you see him coming at you, or maybe try and whistle it or something, because he's probably going to try and go out there and hit you with an aerial to try and take your stock early.
Stop it.
When he's red, what you can do is he can kill you with one of your throws. He can do that as a kill throw.
What about the purple? What's the difference between
so purple does a lot of damage, but not a lot of knockback. Red does little damage, but a lot of knockback. So it's like when he's in red, he wants to take your stock. When he's in purple, he wants to rack up your percent. He's probably not going to take your stock when he's in purple. So when he's in red, you can try and hold shield, because he doesn't do a lot of shield damage.
Wait, did I? Oh, I died.
No! I went too deep.
I keep forgetting.
Something you can do with Olimar is, so there's two types of air dodges in this game if you don't know. There's this type, you know, type where you can just pick a direction and you air dodge. But if you don't hit any direction, you just neutral air dodge. And that's really good because it actually has less lag to it than a directional one. So like, let's say you're off stage and you're about to get hit. If you go for just that neutral air dodge, you're still going to get the invincibility. You're still going to be able to cross up your opponent, but you're not stuck in this super long animation all the time. Gotta watch out for that smash art. It's super strong. And you can kind of treat Shulk in a similar way to what I said with like Olimar earlier, how you kind of just like briefly take these like little snapshots in your head. It's like, oh, I have this Pikmin. You know, you can just sometimes look down at his portrait in the bottom and go, oh, he's got smash art on or something like that. You know, and then it's gonna remind you. And it's also got a little gauge down there that shows you how long it lasts, so you can kind of play around it. You know, if you see it about to run out, then you can maybe just stall off stage for a little bit with like an upbeat or something.
Are you? Oh my god.
Something that you also may not know about his up B, because it can be a little tricky, is the Pikmin have different weights to them. So purples are heavier.
Purple one's the heaviest
Yeah.
one.
Yes.
I like that.
So when you're off stage, let's say I knock you really high up and you're all the way in the corner of the stage recovering, right? You're falling back down. Sometimes it's better to throw your Pikmin up there, you know, and then you don't have that many left. They've already landed on stage. You don't necessarily lose them, and then you can recover.
Okay. Oh man, this is.
And if you ever have any like one-off questions or anything you want to ask me, just not during the session or anything like that, feel free to you know, shoot me them on like DM or whatever, and I'm more than happy to answer it if you're curious about something. But yeah, it'll definitely get better with time.
No! He's.
No.
Ah!
All right, you got a little greedy.
Ah! I feel like I can't approach you at all.
Well, something to keep in mind is I'm generally being the aggressor whenever we're playing, so I'm kind of always trying to keep you on your back foot. But also, I'm really good at fighting Olimar, so I know how to handle everything he's doing.
Like there's like, oh no! Please, if I die again from this, I'm gonna be really sad. Oh my god. Oh my god.
His sword's really big.
This character is
dumb. I know. The second best player in my region that I live in, he also plays Shulk, and he's very aggravating to fight.
Oh my god! It's like I can't come near you at all. Timmy, stop it!
So when I'm coming at you like that, it's like if you have an instinct to press a button, you want to try and make it one that's gonna count. So something like a dash attack. You know, your dash attack where you just like the cartwheel, that can help try and catch me if I'm running at you, and it can, you know, like when I jump. Or you can forward air, or you can forward smash if I don't have a hitbox out yet. Side B, while good, if you don't have that purple pigment, it's not going to do much to get me off of you. It's something you do when you're approaching me from a distance, or when we're at that distance where you can more safely do it. But up close, you know, you kind of want to throw out your own hitbox to counter it.
What the? Oh yeah, it's fine. There's like, I can't breathe. Even if I shield. Okay, wait. Here. Okay, what do I do there?
There, you could you could try air dodging past me. You could do a neutral air dodge. If you're really confident, you could try doing your whistle to super armor it. Because the nice thing about that super armor is that a lot of characters, maybe even like Shulk, who have these long single hit moves, those are really good for whistling because your animation for your whistle is going to be over quicker than their attack is most likely. So you can like whistle past it, and you can just try, you know, you're just going to go straight past me. That was an accident.
Man, this is hard. Oh my god.
It is, but you've definitely made some good progress from the first game. You know, you're not always good at attacking. You're from the ledge. You're kind of trying to use some more attacks that aren't just side B. You're not mashing side B like you did at the beginning of the game and then losing all your Pikmin. So there's definitely been progress, but it's incremental, which is to be expected. That's how everyone learns. Let me try a different character for the last bit of this. Just because Shulk is super long range, super hard to deal with, and you're going to have an easier time kind of getting the foundation and then going from there. Don't be afraid to hold shield either, you know, and shield really only loses the grab, you know, it's going to shield a lot of moves, and from there, depending on what they do, sometimes you can shield an attack and then roll out, or jump away, or even do your own attack out of it. And are you familiar with how shielding works, I guess, like the behind the scenes part of it?
If it breaks, you stun.
Okay.
And you can shield grab.
Yeah. So shield grab is like a good segue into it. You can shield grab, and it's a little bit slower than doing a regular grab because there's some additional like time it takes because you're in shield. You can also do an up smash out of shield, which with Olimar is a little weird because your Pikmin can be wonky. But if you're ever doing that, just hold shield and then flick up on your C stick and let go of shield at the same time. Actually, I don't even know if you need to let go. Yeah, I'll show you. I'll show you real quick.
Okay.
And because when you shield, if you let go of it, there's something called shield drop, which is a little bit of time that takes to let go of your shield. But if you're just holding shield and you hit up on your C stick, you just up smash right out of it. So like if I was to like hit your shield, then you could just let it go, assuming it's something that's not super safe. It's obviously not going to work on everything like that. And then you can roll out of shield and things like that. You can also jump out of shield. And that also takes no additional time. That's just like normal. So say someone's right in front of you and you're in shield, you could jump out and forward air them or something like that. You know, so you jump out and then you hit forward on your C stick or forward A, and that's going to get an attack out. So when you're in shield, you're not always locked into it. You can do these options to help you get out of it, depending on where the opponent is. All right.
Okay, alright. Wait, where did my Pikmin go?
You threw 2 on me, and I ended up killing them. And then the other one you threw off stage.
In this situation, what do...
Just
oh my god.
pluck 1. Pluck 1. It's alright. Pluck 1, and then, you know, try and fend me off. Or even if we're up close and you don't have any, you could try using your jab or your down tilt or a dash attack, just something to like force me off of you, and then get one. And even if you get hit, as long as you pluck 1, you still have it. So you know you could maybe land and prioritize plucking that one Pikmin, and then if you get hit, it's okay because the Pikmin's gonna come to you.
I got excited. I thought that was me for a second. And it was you.
Yeah. That was a pretty good tech.
Uh-oh. Oh my god.
That's one of those areas Olimar is vulnerable off stage, so sometimes you're just gonna have to like cut your losses and accept that sometimes you're gonna have to get hit. The way I look at it is, it's okay if I get hit, you know, I'm gonna take the damage, but as long as I still have my stock, you know, I have a chance to come back.
Hold on, I need
No, you're good. You're good.
Yvonne's in her master's promos, so you know what that means?
Yeah.
We get all the big brains to like spectate her game, so she has a 100% win rate of like passing.
Okay, alright.
Right? And that's what she can now this morning. I think that's a good.
Wait, hold on.
Okay. I'm good whenever you are.
You're talking to someone?
Do you wanna verse him? He's a pro. You wanna try?
Yeah, sure.
Can I try versing you?
Sure. Let me go Olimar.
Wait, can I not be the fucking clown you play?
Oh, Oliver's not a clown. Ow.
Oh, sorry. You don't let me.
No, absolutely.
No homo. Like,
no,
listen, Lily, it's Lily, it's okay.
No, stop. You're being really weird right now.
It's not weird.
Okay, go. Pick
You
your
fucking
character.
make it weird.
But the my smash is the C6 is just smash.
Wait, can I switch?
To what?
Wait, your controls different?
No.
Okay,
It's
okay.
just, it's pretty specific.
Okay.
Drag your thing. Oh, I can't wait to see this. Isn't all of my
Okay.
I'm just trying to teach me really hard.
How many stocks?
Just 3.
Holy fuck. That means 3 times he's just gonna show me.
No, I want to see how I'm
Wait, are the controls reversed?
No.
Sorry.
It's just a kinky thing.
Okay,
Come
okay.
on. Excuses already?
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Oh.
Oh my god, I... Okay.
He's so
Hija de puta madre.
Wow.
What?
Wow. That's actually amazing. What the heck?
Alright. I was fucking around, that's a warm up.
If you can get one stop off with him, I'd be really impressed.
No.
Did you kill yourself again?
Dude.
Oh my god. Wait, that was actually...
See, but this goes to show I am my biggest opponent. No, it's not him, it's me.
See, if you can do that, it gives me hope. I want to beat you too.
Yeah, you probably can in like, legit like 6 months.
Okay. Thank you for it. That was really entertaining. Thank you. Alright, thank you for listening. That was really fun.
You're welcome. Alright, if you want, we can do a quick best 2 out of 3 just to wrap it up, and then I'll give you like some closing thoughts.
Okay. I'm really just a one more. I don't. It's 2 out of 3. You're just gonna win 2 anyway. So
Okay, you just want to do a game then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait. Okay. I always pick Al because he has the pink gloves. That's cute.
I'm not an Alf fan, I'm afraid. His hair his hair reminds me of poop.
What?
Just the shape of it. I'm more of an Olimar guy myself.
No breathing.
I like that you're going for attacks. That's good.
I died. Oh my god.
I liked the whistle attempt there. A little early, but it's the thought that counts.
Oh my god, I gave it. He's 50%. What's up? Oh my!
That was a good example of what I meant when I said the yellows have really big hitboxes, because they hit really far into the stage. So you can do things like that. That was definitely good. You did a couple things that were good. I saw you try and whistle something. That's but it's hard, but it's good that you're doing it, because now you're not so much panicking when you're getting hit, and you're going, okay, I need to do something to get out of here. And you chose a solid option in that case. You just slightly messed it up.
Okay.
You were doing some good damage there. You were trying to attack. You didn't really run into those instances where you were, flying off stage with all your Pikmin and then almost killing yourself and things like that. So it was a good. You were definitely making progress.
The little
yeah, it's a step-by-step process.
Okay, alright.
But yeah, just whenever you're playing, feel free to fight those CPUs. They can be a little tough. Don't be afraid to go online either and play the Elite Smash or Quick Play or whatever it's called.
If you verse random people online, like, does that help you a lot?
It can. So for me, when I go on the Quick Play mode, it's not going to do too much for me because, I'm a really strong player who knows how to play a really weird character, so I can catch a lot of people off guard. But I do go play other, strong people online, and it can be good for me. Someone at your skill level, it may be more beneficial because you're still learning a lot of the more foundations of Olimar, so if they don't know them, that's okay because you also don't know them. So to help you figure it out, and you also fight these different levels of players. It varies in skill. But the biggest thing right now is whenever you're practicing, maybe go in the training mode, like I said, play around with his moves, see where his moves send them, look at all that stuff. And don't forget about using your options when you panic. You don't want to just panic and not press any buttons. Using an attack, using an air dodge, a whistle. And then, biggest thing, make sure to look at your Pikmin frequently. Take those mental snapshots.
Okay.
But yeah, I will get you that document. It'll be a Google Doc. I'll send it to you within about a day or two. And I'll have a bunch of bullets on what we talked about, little paragraphs and things like that. And if you have any questions, feel free to let me know, okay?
Alright, thank you so much. This is very useful.
You're welcome. I'm glad I helped. I will talk to you later then.
Alright, thank you. Bye.
Bye.